Hey everybody, my name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. I wanted to thank you for listening to this episode of The Morning Show. I'm the creator, the producer, and the host of the show. We want you to check out our website. It's themorningshowwithnatalie.com. You can go to that website. You can see all about our sponsors, all about the show. You can even listen to live episodes while they're going on right there from the website. Another way to listen to the show live is go to Live 365. You can download that app and just search for The Morning Show. It's right there. Super easy. We want you to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel if you will. That way you can keep up with what's going on The Morning Show. Thank you. I hope you enjoy it. My name is Natalie Duncan-Emmons. You are listening to The Morning Show. We've been talking about it all week long, but today is the day. February the 17th. Hey, there's a lot going on today, but right now we're focused on one thing, and that's the release date of the brand new album of our featured artist and our friends, Southbound. Clint Brown is here to help us celebrate the day. Good morning, Clint Brown.
Good morning, Natalie. How are you doing?
Well, we're doing great. We're excited about this album.
We are too. We're pumped up. You got to experience it live at the release party, and I know you've been listening to it for a while now because we got it to you. Yeah. And I hope all your listeners feel the same way you said you feel about it, because we're very excited about it.
Well, it's kind of like been waiting on Christmas, actually, because you're right. I did hear these songs, well, a while back. It's been, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago. And so yeah, the anticipation of wanting to bring these songs to everybody else. Well, it's finally time. We can do it now.
Yeah, we're excited about it.
We are too. I know you guys have had a busy week. It's been a fun week. And the fact that you would take time to spend this morning with us, we sure do appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure anytime. Not only do we love talking to you and, with these interviews, but we love seeing all you guys in Lake Mississippi. I mean, it's one of our highlights that we look forward to every year is getting to Lake Mississippi, and we're excited about coming back.
Coming back March the 31st.
That's right.
It's not long, about 5 weeks or maybe 6. Something
no,
like
not at all. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, we're going to make a big night of that. Matthew Browder and the Browders are going to be with us, and the legend himself, Ronnie Henson. Ronnie Henson's going to be there. That's got to be a good night.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, and I would love at the end of the night for you and Mr. Henson to take the stage together and maybe do a couple of those old Henson songs. Can we do that?
Well, we'll do that. That's easy.
Yeah, it'll be a whole lot of fun. Well, September 2021, you released the first album. It was self-titled Southbound. You guys have had a phenomenal ride with that. And now here we are, album number 2, Lost and Found. You know, I loved that first album, but this one is better. This one's better. There's no doubt about that.
Well, that's what we were shooting for.
Well, you hit it. And it doesn't always happen that way, but it sure did this time.
The difference between these two albums is not just the quality of the songs, because the songs on the first album are phenomenal as far as writers, and all those songs are just awesome. But on our first album, we were trying to get, no one knew who we were. No one had heard of Southbound because there was no Southbound. So we didn't want to just come out with 12 brand new songs no one had ever heard, because we didn't feel like it would really draw the audience to us. So we did songs like Sometimes It Takes a Mountain. We did Daystar. We did the Blood medley. We did Power in the Blood, rearranged it. So a lot of those songs, we did Graves into Gardens that people were very familiar with. We wanted the crowd to see a title of a song and say, oh, I love that song, and then give us a chance. This second album, every song on there except for Yes He Can, which was a Kane song, all of them are originals. And so I think that's, on the second album, you're really getting to meet Southbound and who we're all about.
I feel that. It feels like in this album, you are comfortable with who you are. You are in your skin as Southbound.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. Well, I want to spend our time today, and I'm not going to keep you a long, long time, but I want to talk just about this album and about these songs. And I'll start with this. If you can't listen to this album and acknowledge that these 3 men, Jody Brazelton, Seth Elby, and Clint Brown,
are some of the best singers in all of gospel music, and not just Southern gospel music. I mean, the whole umbrella. Southern gospel, contemporary, Christian country, it doesn't matter. You three guys are the best of the best as far as vocals go in any style of gospel music, according to the host of the morning show.
Well, thank you so much. Well, that means a lot to us. We respect your opinion and we appreciate your endorsement. We've worked hard at what we do, and we continue to work hard. And so to hear that really is an encouragement, because we are more than just Southern gospel singers. We're worshipers, we're praisers, and we're songwriters. And so that means a lot.
We play a lot of groups who are really good at what they do. They do one style, they do one thing, and they're super good at that. But you take them away from that, they can't really do anything else. There's no fault in that. It's just the way that it is. Southbound can do everything. All right, we're talking about the album. The vocals are pure velvet. The songs are as strong as I've ever heard on a gospel project. And even the tracks, even the soundtracks are in a league of their own. And Clint, I hear so many influences. How many songs are on the album? Is it 10 or is it 12? It's 12.
Right? 12.
Okay. I hear so many influences in these 12 songs. It's kind of wild, really, to listen to it. It's a work of art, and I cannot wait to see where this album takes Southbound.
Well, thank you so much. It is an album of different influences. I wrote a lot of the songs on there myself, and then we have a song on there that we all wrote together called "Life Is Worth Living." Oh, interesting! The song "Life Is Worth Living." It's the very first song on the album. We wrote that. You don't know this. We wrote that song driving from Little Rock, Arkansas to Lake Mississippi for the first time when we were at your church. We wrote that song on that trip, driving to church.
Isn't that incredible? Wow.
That would be kind of interesting for you, but these songs are very personal. I wrote them from a lot of experiences that I've had in life. Jody Brazelton and I wrote Morning Mercies. It's a testimony. I think everybody will be able to relate to it. Lost and Found. How can you not relate to that if you're a Christian? You were lost and now you're found. Yeah. Middle of Nowhere is a song that I wrote that I just think it goes, you listen to it and it takes you on a journey from a kid that gets pregnant before she's married and she's filled with shame and she's too young to realize about God's mercy and his love. And then it ends up with a gentleman that's in his late 70s or 80s and married for 55 years. And he's lived long enough to realize God's mercy and his grace. Yeah. These songs have all been a part of my life throughout my entire life. And so that's what I was going for when I put pen to paper. I said, I want people to listen to these songs and say, ask a question. I wonder what he was going through when he wrote that. Yeah. And then the second one would be, man, I've been right where that song says, he is. I've been right there myself. So
I wanted to go song by song and to talk about these. And you just mentioned In the Middle of Nowhere. Clint, I think that's the most comforting song on the entire album. That's what I think of. It's comforting. Yeah,
because, in life, the thing about life is oftentimes, and I don't know, Natalie, I'm sure you've experienced this. I'll just give my testimony about it. I don't know how you feel about it, but in life, sometimes you realize that not everybody you thought was your friend is your friend because, it's easy to have friends and find people to be there for you whenever you're on top. But if you ever fall, if you ever stumble, if you ever come down the hill, that you were standing on, that group of friends is a lot less. If you think one chapter had 5,000 people sitting down eating out of his hand, 5 loaves and 2 fish, then another chapter he has 12 eating at a table. And another chapter, he has two in the garden sleeping while he's praying. And then in another chapter, he has no one, he's alone. So the closer he got to his purpose and the closer he got to his crucifixion, the smaller his crowd got. And so this, because it lets you wherever you are, whether it's up or down, he'll be there.
I hope you heard what he said. He said the closer he got to his purpose, the smaller his crowd got. That's pretty deep, Clint Brown.
Yeah, it's the truth.
That's a song in itself. Well, that's a good one.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's play a little bit of it. We got plenty of time. Let's play this song
Yeah.
right here in the middle of nowhere. Clint, your voice is just naturally encouraging. And when you mix your voice with the melody of this chorus and the inspirational lyrics, well, it's just an uplifting song, and I believe you when you sing it. Here it is. It's on the new album. Clint wrote this one. It's called In the Middle of Nowhere.
She wiped away her tears of shame, not knowing just how to explain her big decisions are now a little life. She prays and hopes they'll understand, but that don't ease the pain she's in. She hasn't lived long enough to realize he'll meet you in the middle of nowhere. You're gonna see he was right there, waiting on you like tomorrow's sunrise. If you've been drifting in a bad storm or stranded on an island and all alone, he's right where you
All right, we're talking about these songs on the brand new project. We have Clint Brown here from Southbound. The new project's here today. We've talked about it all week long. We want you to get it. Clint, there's a song on there called Yesterday. The chorus says, there's no brand new adventure looking at old pictures when you have memories left to make. Time's a thing you can't borrow. It's here today. It's gone tomorrow. You don't have a second left to waste living in yesterday. We're not going to play that one today, but that's a mighty good song. That's a good thought. Did you write that one?
I did. I wrote that. In the ministry, that's been my life. My whole life has been ministry. And I had someone stop and ask me one time, they said, hey, we remember you, when you were, man, you were one of the top praise and worship guys in America, and I was. Our albums did phenomenal. I was on Universal Records and Sony Records, and back in that day, that was very unusual to be on major labels like that doing praise and worship. But they said, how do you feel about the new praise and worship? And man, I wish you would make another praise and worship album. I wish you would do that. And I said, you know what? When I stepped on the stage, somebody else had to step off. Mm-hmm. And then when I stepped off the stage, it was because somebody else was stepping on. Mm-hmm. And I'm not gonna keep looking back and regretting or feeling bad because I'm not still doing what I did in 1995, mm-hmm. Or 2000. God has a different plan for me and a new adventure for me. And if I keep holding on to just where I've been, I'll never embrace where I'm going. Yeah. And so I wrote that song out of that thought that, look, there's no brand new adventures looking at old pictures, like you said, it's just, God encourages us to keep, the Bible says the steps of a righteous man are ordered of the Lord. Yeah. It didn't say how old you had to be. It didn't say how young you had to be. It just said, keep walking, keep stepping, because God has plans for you. And so, especially in Southern gospel music, and I think you will testify to this, we minister predominantly to an older crowd. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to stand on a stage and tell people that have their life is now in a time of seasoning and wisdom, and maybe they're in their final chapter, of their life, that, hey, don't live looking back, mm-hmm. Look forward. And so that's what that song was all about.
That it's fantastic. We're not gonna. I wish I could play every one of these songs today, but of course that would take forever. So, but we're trusting that the people. Yeah, eventually we will. And we've been playing them all week. I mean, we have played these in anticipation of today. We've been giving a little snippet here and there, like, hey, this is coming out Friday. So, we've been encouraging, getting people ready to get this. So we're hoping by now they have it. So be sure that you listen to Yesterday. Hey, this one right here, Just a Little Time and a Whole Lot of Jesus. I think the official name is Time and Jesus. Jody does that one. That's a great song. Easy listening.
I wrote that song. I wrote it about my sister. And she was real frustrated one time and young, but in the deep South in Louisiana, I don't know about Mississippi. You got married pretty young, in the mm-hmm. deep South, mm-hmm. in the 80s and 70s and 60s. It wasn't unusual for somebody to graduate high school and get married the next week. Sure. That wasn't unusual where we lived. And I remember my sister was dating this guy and broke up. And my mom, she was the only girl in the house, and so my sister was so depressed. And my mom told my sister that line right there. She said, "Ren, just give it a little more time and a whole lot of Jesus, and it'll be all right." And so, and she did, and she was all right, and she's got a beautiful family. But that's kind of the inspiration for that song was some advice from my mom. And you hear it in the verse where it says, Mama used to say, son, some things are going to take. And so that is definitely a quote from her. But it was to my sister. It really wasn't to me. Wow. But I wrote it like it was to me. And that song actually is Jody's favorite song on the whole album. Oh, and I love it. It's it kind of stays mellow all the way through. You don't have that big ending, or it's not fast or anything like that, but it's a great message.
Well, like I said, it's easy listening. Well, this next one, you already mentioned it, but I'm just kind of going down my list in the order that I had them written down. And the next one on my list is Life Worth Living. And here's what I said about it. Besides Lost and Found, this is my favorite song on the album. I mean, Lost and Found is my pick, but this Life Worth Living, it is a fantastic song. The Gatlin Brothers. That's what I feel. First time I'm listening to the track, this comes on, I went, that sounds like a polished Larry Gatlin right there.
Well, what's funny about that is when I was a young guy, a kid, 12, 13 years old, I worked with my dad and my brothers, and we worked in prefab houses. We laid vinyl and carpet, and we'd get in there, and my daddy would make us all sing, and he sang too. And I can't tell you how many times people would stop by those houses while we were working. And my dad would say, all right, let's sing them a little song here, boys. And we always went to all the gold. Yeah. And it was Larry Gatlin.
I feel it. It's Gatlin with a little touch of Diamond Rio.
Yeah, that's right. You're exactly right.
Yeah, I feel it. Well, we got to play it. We're not going to get to play all these songs, but I sure want to play this one.
But we did write that the first time we ever came to Salem Baptist Church. We wrote that entire song on that road trip, driving from Little Rock to Lake Mississippi.
Isn't that something? Well, we will always remember that. It's a good one. So I hope somewhere down the road, this one will be released as a single. You probably hadn't thought all that through, but I don't know how you'll ever choose. You've got so many good ones, but this one, I can sure hear it on the radio. Here it is. Southbound, Life Worth Living.
Life, there always comes a time every one of us will find a fork in the road. You can go left and make things right, stand in the dark or walk in the light. Don't know about you, but I know I found my way home. Now life is worth living when you've been forgiven. A brand new man still the same pair of shoes. You can leave your past and don't look back. There's nothing
right, we're just gonna keep right on going because I just want to mention so many of these songs. They're all special. All right, Yes He Can. You mentioned that one. That one features Seth, but there's something else special about this song on your recording of it. What's that, Clint?
Well, I wrote the bridge in the middle, and I talked with them and got permission to do that. And so, with Taylor and them, they wrote the song Cain. And so I wrote that bridge in the middle just to give it a little bit of a Jesus and the power of Jesus. And so I just wanted to put it in there. And now Cain in their live concerts have added my bridge to their song.
Are you kidding me?
No, they sure have.
That's
But he told me that he said, the good news is we're adding your bridge to the song. The bad news is we're not sending you any royalties.
You just donated
I said,
that.
well, I don't deserve it because I didn't ask you to write it. I just wanted to put it in there. So, but that's a great song. That's probably my favorite song on the album. But the reason it's my favorite song on the album is our wives sang on that with us.
Yeah, that's
so I don't know if you hear their voices in there, but they're singing that with us. And Laura and Kendall jumped in the studio with us in Nashville and sang on that. And we've been several places now live and they've been with us where they have sang with it, come up on stage and sang it with us.
That's
so
super cool.
That's going to always be a very, very special song to us on that album because of that.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. All right. Morning Mercies. This is a song that features Jody. And I have to ask you this. Have you ever listened to the Eagles somewhere in the past? Because this song is beat up with the Eagles.
Yeah, I've listened to the Eagles a lot through the years. And you're right. It's and I'll tell you what's funny. I let Sonia Isaacs listen to that song. And we let Vince Gill listen to it. And I don't know if you know this, but Vince sings with the Eagles now.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Vince sings with the Eagles. He took Fry's place with the Eagles. And so I said, I kind of let you guys rub off on me on this one. And so you're exactly right. The first thing my wife said whenever she heard this song, after we recorded it, she said, man, that sounds just like the Eagles. Mm-hmm. I said, yeah, it has that flavor for sure.
Definitely. I'd like to play that. Do you think we have time to play Morning Mercies? And then we'll come back and just wrap it up. But this is so pretty. I think it's the prettiest. To me, in my opinion, it's the prettiest song on the album. Every song has its own place, but this one is just pretty. Features Jody. Yeah. Here's Southbound, Morning Mercies.
Mistakes in this life of mine, stumbled, fell a million times, too many regrets to try and count. I've shattered dreams and broken hearts, wounded some that's left them scarred. In spite of that, I always seem to find morning mercy, always there even when the world seems dark. Morning mercy, showing up with hope right where you are. Grace that always covers me, help for those who are in need, a never-ending love with endless reach. Each day while we're waking up, it's waiting there for all of us, and through the eyes of faith we get to see morning compassion's beyond compare. Forgiveness keeps amazing me. If I had 1,000 tongues, that would never be enough to thank you, Lord, for always giving me morning mercy. Always there even when the world seems dark. Morning mercy, showing up with hope right where you are. Grace that always covers me, help for those who are in need, a never-ending love with endless reach. Each day while we're waking up, it's waiting there for all of us, and through the eyes of faith we get to see morning mercy. Goodness and mercy all the days of our lives. We have a promise, and we know it will be there every time. Morning mercy, always there even when the world seems dark. Morning mercy, showing up with hope right where you are. Grace that always covers me, help for those who are in need, a never-ending love with endless reach. Each day while we're waking up, it's waiting there for all of us, and through the eyes of faith we get to see morning mercy. Your faithfulness has never failed. Your compassion's beyond compare. Your forgiveness keeps amazing me.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Clint, I know you're awful busy. I wanted to mention the song His Love. This one has, well, it has a strong country flavor, talking about the sweet peaches in Georgia and the deep waters of the Mississippi. It's a whole lot of fun. I know people are going to fall in love with this one. And it shows all of your personalities, I think. Very
Yeah.
distinct. Um,
Yeah. I wanted to, a lot of times on our albums, Christian albums, and especially mine through the years, I've never wrote a song that was fun. Now, I don't mean it wasn't fun to do. I just mean a fun, like lighthearted song.
Exactly.
I have never really recorded one. And I did way back in the day. I wrote a song called Oh Yeah, and that was kind of fun. But I wanted to write a song that, because we travel in so many different states and do different things, and people just love things like that. And it kind of breaks the monotony of serious and all of that stuff. And so I think people are going to enjoy that song a lot. I mean, we've sang it in several places, and people have come up and just so sad that we didn't have our product yet for that song. And so we all three love that song. We love to sing it, and I thought it turned out great. Interesting story. I wrote that song for the Oak Ridge Boys. Jimmy Yeary, that's Sonia's husband, and I were going to write verses, and Jimmy got caught up with something and couldn't do it. And so I just sat down one day and wrote those verses and the bridge, and I sent it to the Oak Ridge boys, and they've got it on hold. They're gonna, I don't know if they're gonna, when they put it on hold, you never know, but they're scheduled to record it in the summer. But I said, you know what? I'm not waiting on that. I'm putting it on the album.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that hurts me down the road with them, but I think their audience is different than ours anyway.
I do too.
But I originally wrote that for them.
I think if they're going to record it, they will record it either way.
Yeah. Hope so.
All right, real quickly, another one that I hope people will experience is called Somebody Testify. This one is special. I didn't hear this one as soon as the other ones. This one got left out of what you sent me, so I've only heard this one more recently. But this is a special song. Did you write
Jody
this one?
I did not write that song. That was written by Ryan Edgar from Nashville. One of my sons in the Lord. I kind of mentored him throughout the years. But I don't know if you ever watched America's Got Talent. There was a family on there called the Edgar family. And if you want to YouTube them, you can. They're phenomenal. Yeah. And his wife used to be the backup singer for Carrie Underwood, Nikki Edgar. And so he wrote that, and when I heard his version, it's totally different than our version. It's very, very CCM. And I said, I'll let it lean a little bit that way, but I'm going to make it a southbound song. But that song is probably, and I wrote 10 of the 12, and that song is probably my wife's favorite song, which it's kind of offensive to me, but no, it's an awesome song. And one of the reasons we love that song, all of us that have listened to it so much, is just the lyrics in it. Natalie, when I came into the Southern gospel world, I said, we've heard so many lyrics about the cross, the blood, the cross, heaven, with Southern gospel songs. And I said, surely when I start writing, I want to talk about the cross. I want to talk about the blood. I want to talk about heaven, but I want to talk about, things that are happening now. And I also want to share those principles in different, with different lyrics, that say the same thing, but it's a different lyric. And so, I just love when we say, things like shift the atmosphere and, things like that. It's just, that's not a common lyric in Southern gospel. If you really read those lyrics, they're very, very contemporary and very, what we call relatable and current, And so that's what I love about that song. But that's a powerful song. And we're going to do it every night because people have fallen in love with that song.
I have fallen in love with this song. It's unbelievable. Southbound, Somebody Testify.
I feel it in the room. Somebody needs a breakthrough. Somebody needs their mountain to be moved. I feel it in the room. Somebody here is desperate. Somebody needs what only he can do for there to be a way where there hasn't been a way, for something here to break and nothing stays the same. Somebody testify of everything he's done. Somebody prophesy every good thing that's to come. Somebody shout the name. It shifts the atmosphere. Oh, if you know he's good and he will do it. Somebody testify. Ooh. I feel it in the room. atmosphere. Oh, if you know he's good and he will do it, somebody testify. This is how we overcome, by the power of the blood. A million testimonies that declare redemption's story. This is how we overcome, by the power of the blood. A million testimonies that declare redemption's story. That his promises are solely, just as sure as he is holy, always working for our good, for his glory. Somebody testify of everything he's done. Somebody prophesy every good thing that's to come. Somebody shout the name that shifts the atmosphere. Oh, if you know he's good and he will do it. Oh, if you know he's good and he will do it. Somebody testify.
Clint, we're going to play one more as we go out, but before we do, I want to thank you for spending, I know you're awful busy, and the fact that you would take time to come by the morning show on this release date, it means an awful lot to us. We appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure. Hey, you know what, Natalie? Guess who's walking through my front door right now?
Who?
Seth J. Elby.
Seth LB. Hey, Seth, how's it going?
Hey, Natalie, doing good.
You're on the morning show live.
Yep. Say hi to the morning show.
Good morning show, people. How y'all doing?
That was perfect timing. You guys have been our featured artists all week. We are pushing this album. Today's the day. Today is the release date, the 17th. And that's what Clint and I are just sitting here talking about. What an amazing masterpiece it is.
He'll have to go back and listen to this whole thing because he missed it. We were just
He missed
on
it.
him on Yes We Can.
And we're
Oh.
done. We're done now, Seth. But you can get in on this. I was just fixing to tell Clint that I want to thank Southbound for what you add to gospel music. You make us better. We need you here. And I appreciate Southbound for all you've done the last year, gospel music.
Well, thank you so much. We've had an incredible year, and we're really excited about this new album and all the dates we have coming up. We're excited about being on the road and meeting all of our Southbounders.
Back in Lake Mississippi.
That's
Coming back
us.
to Lake Mississippi.
That's us. It won't be long. March the 31st, you guys will be here. We're going to make it a big, big night. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And as always, you guys have a friend here on the morning show. Don't forget that.
Well, absolutely. We're looking forward to it.
And hey, Natalie, thank you so much for coming to our release party Wednesday night.
Well, we were honored to be a part. We appreciate the invitation and being included. It was a magical evening. Tate, Joey, and I all had a blast.
That's right.
All right. We're encouraging everybody to get this album today. It's called Lost and Found. Thanks, Southbound. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Natalie.
Thanks so much.
See you March the 31st.
Yes, ma'am.
It goes way further than the plains of Oklahoma, brighter than the sun that shines above, stronger than the oaks
in South Louisiana, they say, c'est bon chat. Yes, sir.